So let's get into the first one. And the biggest lie that people tell you is you can live here in the Philippines on $1,000 like a king. I don't know any king in the world that lives on 57,000 pesos. You know, there's only 27 kings in the world as of today. Let's take King Charles. What does he live on? He lives off the income of 57 different countries. You know, he has no budget. You know, so when these people get on here and they tell you, oh, move to the Philippines, you can live as a king on $500, $1,000. No. As far as that goes, only kings can live like kings unless you're going to marry somebody like Prince William's kids. You ain't never going to be a king. And the second one is, oh, you do not come here unless you have $4,000 a month to live on, because you can't make it. It's too expensive. $4,000 is a lot of money, even in America. I mean, the median house income, I believe, is $60,000. That's $5,000. So it's basically just a little less than what you could live in America. So how in the world would anybody want to move to America, to another country, and still have the same bills as they have now? Now, what I want to say is they're both very wrong. There's no way in the world that, hang on a second, some walking by me here. Sorry about that, it was a lizard. I was supposed to come by my leg. But anyway, they're both very wrong, like I was saying. They're looking through blinders, you know, like a horse. You put that on so it can only see one direction. So they can, the reality of living in their life is stuck to where they're at. Now, I'm talking mainly about the expats who are saying that if you don't have $4,000 a month, you will not make it here. And the people who saying this, they're the ones who's living in the BGC, Forbes City, which is one of the most expensive places in the Philippines, or the expensive place in the Philippines neighborhood, McCarthy. You know, so these places here, expats flock to. And you know, the Filipinos, especially the real estate developers, they know that. But when they build it up in those areas, the cost of everything is going to be comparable to what you're paying in America, because they know they're going to get it. You know, because if you ain't super rich, you're not going to go there. But there is a lot of business people who work for companies that travel around, and their companies pay for it. Now, I do believe that either two things are going on here with the ones who are saying you can live in the Philippines like a king on $1,000 or less. Okay, first, they're either want to be expats that are in America, never been here, and they're making something up because they're trying to build a YouTube channel. And the second one are the expats here, and they know the reality that it is here in the Philippines, and they're just making this stuff up so they can get clicks, you know. Oh, you know, a good example is the guy that got kidnapped the other day. I'm not going to get in that, and thousands of people have talked about that, way about down south in Mindanao, yeah. Anyway, 1,000 people post that real quick. Not because they're concerned about the guy or anything like that. It's so they get those views. And that's the same way when these people, so don't fall for the bull when they say, oh, you're going to live here like a king for $1,000 or $300, and it's going to get you a house and all your bills paid, food, and some beautiful 18-year-old girl that just jumped out of high school is going to love to live in there with you. That's not true. They're just telling you that for clicks and likes on their video. Now take this building right here that's I'm sitting next to. That's going to be a new condo being built here in my city. And there's about 20 more condos like this being built. Now these condos will run you anywhere depending on the size of your condo, it's going to cost you between 4.5 million pesos to 10 million pesos. And some even up higher than that. So when they tell you, the guy that's in BGC that bugged the hell out of me when he said you need 4,000 a month to live here. Yeah, he's living in BGC. He said that his condo that he brought cost him $1,400 a month. And his electric bill was $300 a month. His food bill was $700 a month, and his everyday entertainment and doing things cost him $1,700. So, in his perspective, you cannot live in the Philippines under $4,000. But like I said, the guy said he came to the Philippines, what, 4 or 5 years ago, and the only place he's been is BGC. He hasn't gone out. He hasn't gone look at other places. You know, look at that condo over there that's 30 stories high. Yeah, those are going to cost you some money, especially if you're in the tourist area or the downtown by the big corporations. Well, like I was saying, his view is that of somebody living in a very expensive expat community, and for some reason he has not explored other places or tried to integrate into the Filipino community here or into the country. He wants to stay in a zone that has either Americans or Westerns in it and basically live like he's in America in another country. Now, what bothered me the most was because now he will say this. He says that, hang on a second, there's a guy going by on a motorcycle. Like I said now, he went around on his YouTube channel and said that everybody that lives outside 4,000 a month, 4,000 a month, they will be living in a grass hut or a building made out of dirt bricks. First of all, there are people that live in grass huts. They usually live way out in the jungle, and nobody builds anything with dirt brick because it rains here and it would just dissolve. So I don't know where he's getting this crazy idea from, but he's just one to, you know, put a negative spin on, or make it out like, well, he's super rich and that's why he can stay where he's at. You know, I don't know what his financial, how much he makes and stuff. But he went on to say, which I find very distasteful and racist. He said that, okay, if you don't bring 4,000, you're going to live like a Filipino. You're going to be, your children's going to be walking around naked in the street, and you will have no running water or toilet in the house, and you will have to crap in the jungle like a monkey. Quote words he said. Personally, I think he has a dislike for the Filipino people because, you know, that was not called for saying stuff like that and degrading the country that you have come and decided to reside in. So later on, I'm going to see if I can walk around. I'm going to show you where the Filipinos live, you know, the middle class, the lower middle class, and the upper middle class, right? To give you an idea. And that this is disprove what both of these people are saying, okay? Now, I'm hoping that the tropical storm that's coming in holds off until I can get it done. It's supposed to rain for 5-6 days starting today. So I'm out trying to do this video. I wasn't going to sit at the house and talk about it, but the more I thought about it, it kind of irks me what the guy said. And I thought, well, I'll just get out here and show you around in the Philippines. You know, right now I'm in the festival area, which is a not super rich, but it's a rich area. And most people, if you live here, you're going to need around $2,000 to live. Unless you go way over there to North Gate, West Gate, East Gate. Now that's where all the tech companies are, and international, that deals with international businesses like HR, tax repair, Jack Hewitt, you know, even some of the federal government in America outsources their business here. So the people that's upper class, they will live in those condos there because they're coming from another country and they're living here running the you know, these large corporations. Now logic would say, okay, that let me get a second here, motorcycle going by. If you need $4,000 to live here, you would never leave America, because just the trip alone, the buying the visas and all that stuff, it's going to end up being just expensive or more than there. And then again, like the other guy said, the one that wants to get a click on his channel, that you can live under $1,000 like a king in the Philippines. Well, if that was true, I believe almost 300 million Americans would pack up today and come over here. You know, everybody but 1 in 5 percenters, you know, and pretty much every other country, you know. So logic does not pan out to what they say. If anybody, you know, has got common sense, they would know that either or of those are wrong. I want to get some statistics out here so you understand what I'm trying to get at. I got it written down here, so if I'm looking down, that's the reason why. In 2024, 60K is the medium household. Medium household is everybody working in the house. Usually it's some husband and wife, and together they're making 60,000. The individual usually around 35, 45, depending on their work, you know, but usually that's an individual wage. And that what works out to like $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Okay, now if you're from Mississippi, right, you wouldn't, if it costs $4,000 to live here, you would never come here, because in Mississippi the median house income is between 30 and 35,000, or 2,500 and 2,700 a month income. So obviously this guy thinks that the people in Mississippi, Arkansas, and any of the Midwest states are poorer than the people in the Philippines, according to his logic, right? And so that's the Philippines now. Let me get down to that because I got that down here. The Philippines, the average income in the Philippines is around $800 a month. That's the Filipinos. That's average. So they got 112 million people living here. Half of those are making over that, and half of those are making less than that. And Social Security, I was checking that up, and it's $1,700. It's pretty much what everybody gets. Now the total maximum, and that's only 0.01%, get $3,300 a month. Now hear that, 0.01% gets $3,300 a month. So all these expats is over here. Well, how you think they're living if they need $4,000 a month? Now, you know, most people like to put labels and put people in categories. So let's start with whatever country you're in. If you're Russia, United States, United Kingdom, Australia, whatever you listen to me from, what class are you in there? And your income, what class have they put you in? Are you the rich, the very rich? Are you down low? Are you the richer uh, upper class, lower upper class, middle class, middle lower class, all the way down to I'm living on the bridge and I have $1,000 in my pocket and that's it. Okay, imagine that they have a ranking system. Just being a little joke there because we do. We talk about the one percenters. If you listen to the politicians, they're always complaining about, well, the one percenters need to pay their fair share, but they don't talk about 5%ers, the 10%ers, 25 and 50%ers. 50%ers are the medium household, what I was talking about, which is 60,000 a year. 60,000, that's 154 million Americans living on 60,000 or less. Now take the one percenters in America. The range runs from 3,300,000 plus. And if you take the one percenters in the Philippines, their average income is 33,000 plus in American dollars a year. Okay, the top pay in the Philippines, the top paying jobs are anything with the airline or healthcare. So if you're airline pilot or if you're an airline engineer, you're going to make probably 80,000 to 100,000 pesos, which is around 2,000 US dollars, give and take, depending on the currency, the ratio changing every day. Then the number one job in healthcare is somebody like a heart surgeon or a brain doctor, you know. There's a brain surgery, like they said, right? Okay, the person in America, say like he's a heart doctor or brain doctor, their pay runs from 135,000 a month plus up. The same doctor who is the best jobs here in the Philippines are making $14,000 a year. Now, going back to the guy that says you need $4,000 a month to live, I guess he thinks that all these top surgeons in the Philippines must be living in grass huts and shitting in the woods. But on this, a side note here, you take the brain surgeon in America, right, and the money he's making. Okay, say he works 10 years there. If he didn't spend a dime of his money, and after that 10 years he came to the Philippines, he could live here for 100 years at the same cost as the brain surgeon or the heart surgeon in the Philippines. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of the race part of that. Now, if you're one of these people who has to be around your own kind, you know, you're American, you want to sit around Americans or maybe some Australians or English people, then you're going to go there. Now, in my city, there's a population around 600,000 people. And it's a pretty good city, it's pretty spread out. But there's expat communities everywhere. Now, when you go to these expat communities, you're going to find out that you're welcome or not welcome there. Because you might go into, a good example is, it go about 2 kilometers west from where I'm at right now. Big, beautiful homes out there, expats all have built them. They're from Korea. And they don't have like the rules of you can't have this person living there and that. They can decide if they want to sell to you or not. And the Koreans try to keep just the Koreans in there. They definitely don't want the Japanese in there because for some reason back in 1941 they had that war and killed their president. They don't want them in there, and the Japanese don't really care about them. But there's a Japanese community here, and it'd be kind of hard to get into. And so you Americans, you're going to have to be in the American community or the Western Europe community, and that's where you're going to find out that it's not going to be. Now take the guy that was talking about the 4,000 and he was downgrading the Filipinos. Where he's living at, he was talking also about food. He goes, well, their food is garbage. They eat nothing but garbage, and they only can, unless you're in the expat community, you're going to get nothing but fly-covered food that's been sitting out in the sun all day. There are places like that, but there's places like that everywhere. I can tell you there's places that you don't want to walk down in America or England or any other country that you just want to stay out, you know? Yeah, these are the poor, the extremely poor people who don't have a job or no means to support themselves, and they're doing whatever they can. They got those open markets and that. But he makes it out that only the expat community has safe food. But he's paying. Now, I just went to Landmark. I was in there earlier. Give me something to drink, you know. You buy some beef in there. I'm going to use beef because beef is very expensive here, no matter where you go. You go to Landmark, and beef's going to cost you around $10 for 2 kilos, or $5 a pound. You go over to ATC. Now you're getting into this, the rich expat area. That same beef is going to cost you about $10 to $12 a pound, and that's ground beef. And then you get all the way over to the expat area, and you're going to be paying $20 a pound for that ground beef. Now it's the same ground beef, same refrigeration, and pretty much the same store. Landmark is everywhere. Pure Gold is a top market here. All Day is a top market here. Now, they are everywhere, but the prices will change big time from where you're at and that. Now, I brought ground beef the other day. I paid $3.80 for it at All Day. Freshly ground, fresh meat, guaranteed, in a cooler, inside the nice supermarket. I have, if I want to go to something like get some American food, I'm less than 15-20 minutes away on a ride to buy it. So the guy, when he's talking about, you know, there's no safe food except in the expat community, and it's so expensive that you have to have money to do that, he's, again, walking around with the blinders on his eyes. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the currency and where they both get it, mislead people here. Now, when you're in your country, right, you buy your house, rent your house, it's in the US dollar. So when you make a deal to lease something, it's always going to cost you that amount of money. It's never going to change. Here in the Philippines, it does. Now, this guy didn't step out of his community, right? He wants to stay in the expat community. Now, I got here in 2017. I rented a house for 5,000 pesos. And now you got to realize that was 2017. So, 7 years ago. I made a 10-year agreement on them. I said, you do not raise my rent for 10 years, and I will sign a lease for 10 years at 5,000. Now, you know, people come, go, stuff like that. People in my neighborhood, they might last a year, year and a half, and then they move on. I'm in a pretty good area. It's safe. And anyway, it's 5,000. You know, when I rented the thing, it was 38 pesos to a dollar. So around $122, $24 a rent a month for my house. Today, it's 1 to 57.5. I'm paying $88 for my house. My house, and now he was talking about all this dirt and like, no, my house is regular house, like built out of the same concrete and material that's building these condos. I have a full bedroom, a 10 by 10 bedroom. I have a 10 by 10 living room. I have a 5 by 7 dining room. I have one kitchen that's small. It's 4 by 15. And then I got another kitchen that's 8 by 15. I have a CR, which we call the restroom in America. It has a shower, it has a stool, it has the vanity where all the medicine, makeup, and stuff goes in, And I get that for $88 because I was smart and locked it in. Now, the houses that's just like mine, there's one. This is where I'm going to get into about, living like a king is not possible, but living good on 1,000 is okay, depending on what you consider good. My neighbors, they're prison guards, the husband and wife. They both work for the biggest prison here. They each get about 30 to 35,000 a month. So together they're making 70,000 pesos. They paying about 8,000 for their place because the rent raised and they didn't lock it in. But that 8,000, they also just brought themselves a brand new 2024 Toyota on payments. They have 2 motorcycles, one for each one of them too, and when they want to take the car out. My other neighbor and his wife are in the same profession too. They both are police officers. Now, the only thing difference between my place and where the guy was talking about, my neighbors don't have white skin. They don't have, they don't look Korean, they don't look Japanese, they don't look German, they don't look Australian. They are Filipinos. Same way, they brought themselves a brand new SUV. They're living in a 2-bedroom thing and they're paying 1,400 pesos a month. Plenty of money, enjoying their life, have 2 kids. The person living next to me, now he was smart. He locked his in. He was there before I was. He says, I'm going to sign the lease very long. But he's only in that house once every 2 weeks. You know what his job is? Real estate developer. He builds those condos there. He's the one who buys the land and he oversees building the condos and all that. But he's not living in those condos because right now the market is high. So the price is extremely high. Now I want you to remember one thing here though. So was China when their apartment bubble popped. In America we had several times where our real estate and housing bubble popped. And the belief is these condos are going to be a condo pop right now because they're building so many condos. I'm going to show you later, hopefully, if it don't rain. There was a condo I was thinking about first buying when I was here, and it hasn't gone up any. It's only 20,000 pesos a month, or the condo is 5 million. They built it like 18 stories high. And they got 3 other ones building in the back. Now, that was 7 years ago. And the first one is only half full. And those are probably mostly people from, and that one is from India. I guess there's some company here. And a lot of Indians are coming over here working in this company. Maybe it's a Indian company owned by India, set up here in the Philippines. And got the cheaper workers, the Filipino workers working in there, and all these guys are like supervisors. And you might have, I went in there, I changed my mind because not because of the people that's living in there, it's the Indians, people from India. You have 8 to 9 people living in one condo because they're all splitting the costs. And I remember being in America, and when I was training the international students I had at Hyatt Hotel, I would, once in a while, there'd be something I have to go over to their big apartment down there in St. Louis. And you walk in there, and it's, you know, like the gentry apartment, okay? It's like the top downtown apartment in, what you call it. And you go into the apartment, and there would be 11 interns, and anywhere from 11, sometimes 18 in there. And they just have beds all lined up everywhere, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, and that, trying to live. So the point I'm trying to say here is these condos, I believe, is either going drastically down in price. So if you brought a condo like this guy, and he's paying that, what, $1,500, $1,700 a month for it, and then he's going to find out he lost all the value of his house when the condo company crashed. Unless something happens in the Philippines and there's a big boom in their GDP doubles or triples, I don't see how they're not going to have a condo collapse here soon. I guess I digressed a little bit again there, but I wanted to finish this up before I take my walk over there and try to show you some places. But do your research. Don't rely on YouTube and somebody's word. Get out there and check things out, you know, because I'm going to say this, and it bothers me because I have also seen this of expats standing on the street with their hand out and says, "Please help me," with their lips. "Please help me." Standing next to the poor Filipino saying, "Please help me," with their lips, right? If you don't do your research and you take some fool who says, you know, yeah, I'm here on $800 and I'm living like a king, and they come over here and they find out it's not true. And then a lot of them will come here thinking, well, they're going to get some job or do something, and they don't have any monthly income. And that's the next point of concern. You better have a monthly income secured before you come here. Because if you don't, you're going to be that guy out there on the street begging. And it's also the reason for the research is I don't want to see anybody that really needs to come here, say like they're disabled, maybe from the war or something like that, and they want to come here and live, and they got $2,500, and they're like, oh, I can't come. Oh my God, it's $4,000 to live here, and they're stuck there, and they're going broke in America, or they're the homeless veteran sleeping on the street in America, where he could be here in a building with electric and food instead of under the bridge after he served his country because some idiots told him he couldn't live here under $4,000 a month. Now I want to make another point here. Now remember I said the top 1% is around $30,000 a year. Most Filipinos make between $7,000 to $14,000. Doc, remember I said the top surgeon would make $14,000 plus. Now in America, do you think anybody in America that's making $14,000 a year can afford to buy a car? And if you look here, they're all Toyota. See Honda. We have Chrysler, Ford, Chevy here. Just like all the American brands. You have the German BMW, Mercedes-Benz. So much for if you don't have $4,000, you're going to live on the street, walking around, crapping the thing. And now here is the condo I was talking about for 20 to 25,000 pesos a month. It's pretty big, pretty nice. I believe they lowered the rate, But I don't think there's anybody in the back one yet. And this one's probably about 3/4 way full. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. Well, they just keep building and building and building. If you look back here, behind building, they're still building on one. This one here with the crane. Show them how to put it together. And they're already putting another one up. Now, this is the one I was talking about that I changed my mind. I was going to rent this when I came in 2017, and it was at that time $4,500,000 for a one-bedroom condo, $6 million for a two-bedroom, and I think they have at the very top 3 bedrooms, but that was going to cost you quite a bit. I didn't even bother to ask about that. I did go around, but the first thing I noticed about when I was in there, you didn't have no pool area, stuff like that for swimming or any activities, no restaurants. And I felt like I was at one of those apartment complexes downtown center in St. Louis, where, you know, it got these high-rise, beautiful buildings, but when you get inside, you have 10 to 12 people living in there. And like I said, I have nothing against any race. It could be Indians, it could be Koreans, it could be Americans. But when you've got 12 to 14 people living in each apartment because they want to save cash, are all kicking money in together to pay off the condo, I just didn't feel safe. But anyway, when that guy was talking about you can't make it for less than 4,000, this will run you back about 500. But if you have 1,000 to live on, you're not going to live like a king, because 50% of your income just went to rent one of these places here. And plus, if you want to buy this thing, what they said was you need 10% down, which would be $450,000 pesos. I mean dollars. And you got I think 2 years to get the down payment paid off while you're making the regular payments. And but it looked like it'd be a nice place. But personally, I would never buy a condo, because I feel like a condo would be the same as buying your apartment. Townhouse is the same way. Why would you want to pay for something when you have to share a wall with another person? Something happens, you know, then you have to work it out with your neighbor how something's going to get paid. We're in South Park Center, which I call it the small mall. There's another name for it. I can't remember what the name is. But they don't have a lot here. But if you notice, you're 10 minutes walking to the very rich area where all the malls are, the super rich condos, the big corporations. Would be Northgate, Westgate, Southgate, and that. So the prices go down. As like I said, 25,000 pesos a month to 60,000 pesos a month, just 10 minutes apart. Now we're going to my subdivision. Here is an apartment that Filipinos rent between 6,000 and 10,000. This is going up to my subdivision. Here's another apartment that was just built. It's a laundry shop. Several apartments upstairs. All these are around 6 to 10,000. Now here we have where the 2 police officers live, the husband and wife. Matter of fact, there goes the guy right there. Very nice, very big place. As you can see, they're not bad homes around here. Some of them got to share the same walls. Some look pretty nice. And most of them around 20,000. A lot of people own their house. They just bought it. Block 33, lot 15. That one was for sale. I don't know if that's sell for rent. I don't know if it's still for rent or not. But it's 3-bedroom, 2-car garage, kitchen, bathroom, living room. So now you tell me where if you ain't making $4,000 a month, you are not going to make it here. I'm not going to show you my street because I don't want people to show up to my house knock and say, hey, I just made it to the Philippines. And believe it, somebody did that to me before. And in America, Hope Mission Church, trying to find me because I was dating a girl that he was dating. I didn't know she was dating because she was on dating app trying to pick up other people. But as you can see, people who's living on 15,000 can afford a nice home. And these aren't the 1%ers there. Look at the size of the house. You don't need to be in a condo blowing $4,000 a month. Well, the tropical storm is here. I'm starting to get a little wet. Well, anyway, you have a good idea that you don't need to live in the expat community. And it's been $4,000 and you can make it here pretty cheap. Hello, buddy. Yeah, so I'm gonna head on back because it's getting pretty wet out here right now. Okay, I'm back. I had to stop filming because it just was downpouring. I'm wet. I had to change my shirt and everything. But like I was saying, wrap this up. There's a price group for everybody here, you know. But you got to realize that if you're going to come here with $1,000, you're not going to live like a king. You're going to live a comfortable life. And I do not like to say, well, you're going to live like a Filipino, because Filipinos live just like everybody else. It's just that they don't have to be, well, I'm going to live in a certain area. You know, one more thing I'm going to say, you know, my place, you could probably live for $1,000 a month. My budget is $1,000 a month, and I put away $450 a month in savings. I never have to spend. Right now, I have 2 years worth of money saved up that if for some reason I don't get Social Security, I can still live here the way I am right now for 2 years without ever worrying about going hungry, paying electric bills, stuff like that. Now, remember what I was talking about my neighbors? Well, two of them's a security guard, one's a construction engineer. I mean, a real estate person. Over here, we have a lady that's a nurse. Across the street, I have a family, and the father is a medical researcher, and his company just sent him to Australia to work on something. So, you live in your means, but you get by what you have. Let me flip the camera. As you can see, this person has a brand new 2024 Toyota. This person here has a brand new Toyota car, Bow 10S, and the other one has a Mitsubishi. Me, I have nothing because I don't try to keep up with the Joneses, you know. I tell my neighbors, oh, your car looks so nice, and then they give me a ride. A little joke there, but you know. Anyway, I hope this answers your questions, and you realize that not everybody has to have $4,000 to live here, and nobody can live here on $1,000 like a king. Okay, I'll be back with a video in a few days.